to you all. At the outset, let me, on behalf of the Hyderabad Public School, extend a warm welcome to each and everyone gathered here today for the launch of our brand new initiative, the HPS Leadership Programme. In today's fast-paced world, we recognize that leadership is not just a personality trait, but an invaluable skill that can be cultivated in every student. As the young leaders of tomorrow, effective communication and adaptability are key to unlocking their true potential. With this vision in mind, we are thrilled to announce our partnership with Educis, an organization dedicated to driving professional and leadership development program at schools. Through a combination of interactive sessions, hands-on workshops, and engaging activities, our collaboration with Educis will empower our children to embark on an exciting journey of self-discovery and leadership exploration. They will learn the art of meaningful communication, enabling them to be heard amidst the noise of the world and to make a positive impact on those around them. Today, it is our pleasure to have an esteemed guest, Mr. Prikshit Dhanda, Chief Mentor at Educis. Mr. Dhanda is a seasoned professional, having undergone training at Harvard University and is one of the leading life coach, motivational speaker, and career coaches in the country. With over 20 years of experience, he has successfully mentored and trained more than 2 million students across diverse domains and regions. Understanding students' aspirations along with their aptitude and motivating them to achieve excellence has kept him busy for more than 2 decades. Mr. Dhanda is an accredited MBTI and FARO-B and skillfully incorporates these instruments in training sessions for teachers, principals, and corporate executives. His insights into human nature and his astute analysis of people and situations make him one of the most sought-after trainers in the educational realm. Many of his students have gone on to become distinguished founders, country heads, and senior executives in various professional domains. Once again, let us extend our warmest wishes to Mr. Prikshit Dhanda. We are honored to have you here today, sir. I now invite Mr. Prikshit Dhanda to join us and share his wisdom and expertise with us. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. That was so generous. Good evening, parents, coordinators, teachers from HPS School. Very warm welcome to all of you. First and foremost, let me congratulate HPS board, management, leadership of principal sir, vice principal ma'am, and for taking this initiative. And parents, let me share at the outset, out of which I mentioned during my earlier session a couple of days back, out of 1.5 million schools in India and about 3.5 lakh private schools in the country, only a handful of schools in the country would have this kind of a program. And let me assure you, you can cross-check with all the schools that you know, and maybe you will hardly hear from any place that they have a leadership program starting from grade 1 to grade 12. So first of all, let's take this opportunity to congratulate HPS administration, management for taking this step. Dear parents, while the school is going out of the way to bring in a company, well-known company, Educis, where this is their expertise area. Okay, this is their specialized area. There are responsibilities for each one of us to make this program a success, which means teachers as well as parents. Without the help of parents and teachers, this program is not going to be as successful. So therefore, today, I'm going to kind of set the context for this program. As to why this program, I don't need to tell you that we are in 2023 and we are training our students for 2030s and 40s. No one knows how the world is going to be. But at the very least, we can make them confident leaders and leaders of tomorrow. But when we talk about leadership, there are a lot of components to this program, which my colleague, Ms. Viha, will share with you later. So let me kind of discuss couple of points, not couple, actually many, few points here. One, I would strongly emphasize that parents, you build a very strong relationship with your children. When I say a strong relationship, I mean interacting with them on daily basis, knowing their routine, knowing their interests, their games that they play, music, their role models, their sports, finding common angles, what we call commonality, and having those discussions. Now, this will build a very strong bond with your student. And a strong bond, another effective trait as far as leadership is concerned. Second, important point here is cultivating composure. Now, how do we cultivate composure? It's like emotional management. Lots being talked about in this world today about emotional and social intelligence, which I'll go in few minutes from now. But emotional management, what is emotional management in a layman term? It is ability to negotiate, respond to various situations. Now, will students learn this on their own? No. And that's where parents will have to set examples. We say children are like sponge. They get to see, they get to observe, they get to see what their elders are doing. So therefore, my request to parents will be, I'm not advocating or preaching here. I'm just saying they will, when they see you negotiating hardships or challenging situations, that's when they also get to see how to maneuver their way around. So that was the second point. Third is display of generous gratitude. A lot of times when they see you trying to explain to them or appreciating others, encouraging them to see how contribution from others is making their life better or complete, that's another area for our young adults. And please understand, whatever I'm sharing, I'm keeping in mind age group 7 to 12, which is, grade 7 to 12, age group 12 to 18. Next important thing is social and emotional intelligence. Now one thing is called self-awareness. Second thing is self-esteem, is the belief that you can deal with your emotions and respond to other emotions. But most importantly, it is going to be emotional regulation. Whether there's a trigger from a peer or from a parent or from a teacher, how they emotionally respond. Is this also part of leadership training? Absolutely. Absolutely. Then we talk about communication skills. Now leadership, communication skill is one part of leadership. But is communication skill just so how do you bring this? So therefore, parents, whether it's taking part in MUN or debates or theater or playing interactive games or team sports, collaborating, discussions, or doing group projects together, is that also part of communication? Absolutely. Next important point is bringing in an aspect of sportsmanship in our students. Let's all go play a game. But okay, I lost today. Okay, from today onwards, you're not my friend because you beat me. No, it's how to concede failure graciously, How to motivate others. Hey, listen, today you didn't play well. Yeah, I wasn't feeling well. No, motivating each other. So building in how to face challenging situations, how to play as a team, that's sportsmanship. Next, extracurricular activities. So therefore, when we send our students to school, one thing is better academics, right? They should learn their subjects very well. There should be education. There should be a lot of learning. Absolutely with you. But is that the whole and sole objective of sending our students to school? No. Interacting with teachers, interacting with the seniors, juniors, bonding, making lifelong friends, taking part in so many school activities. Now, whether it's going on a trip together, whether it's playing matches together, whether it's um, Olympiads or cultural festivals, or it's any other extracurricular or co-curricular activity in a school. So that's an important part of building personality and therefore leadership. Next, dear parents, I've also noticed a lot of things. We say it is very important for young ones to display ownership, accountability. But tell me something. If we don't bring in decision-making capability, if they are not part of subjects like, hey, I'm about to buy a new car, why don't you go research on this? I'm thinking of this or this. Involving these young ones in day-to-day decision-making. Hi, we are going for a trip. This is what we are thinking. This is the budget. Can you go and research? Can you plan? This way, students will feel empowered. They will feel their opinion matters. And isn't this an important aspect of leadership? So I'm sorry, I'm just breaking it down for all of you, but just making it as simple as possible. So involving these young ones in day-to-day decision making, that is leadership. Then supporting a powerful inner dialogue. The students that we are talking about, your children here, grade 7 to 12, the amount of the bombardment of messaging or messages that they receive on social and digital media, many a times this will lead to a lot of concerning situations. So therefore, that self-belief, that peer pressure, ability to handle peer pressure, self-image, body image, there are tons of areas that we are discussing these days. So therefore, supporting inner dialogue is an important feature there. Giving them responsibilities, skill sets, then passion for learning. Not just rote learning, what is taught in the school. No, passion for learning, like curiosity, observation, experiential learning. Now, these may be big words here, but they are all going to make these young ones into great leaders. So therefore, how when this discussion was happening between Educis and HPS, they asked Educis to create a very powerful leadership program, which will be taught, which will be experiential, activity based, in-person delivery mode as far as the program is concerned. And this is from grade 1 to grade 12. And it is progressive, 1 to 3, then 4 to 6, then 7 to 12. It goes like that. Another very important angle here is giving them responsibility. Like, for example, one of the very important feature of the Educis program is helping them with financial literacy, right? Financial literacy is very important in today's time. Then how to create your online image, or how to deal with digital and social media is a very, very important, powerful tool for the young ones. So therefore, all these things are carefully built into this Educis leadership program. However, what I'm trying to say is leadership is not just communication skills. Leadership is so many other things put together inside a program, so that when our students walk out of the school, they are fiercely independent with an independent mind. They are able to take the right decisions, handle adverse situations, handle their own emotions and respond to others' emotions as well, have presentation skills, great communication skill, empathy, support others. And that's where a very important request, I would request all of you, if our students can be supported so that they can in turn support others. And that's where an event which is very close to, or an area which is very close to my heart is valuing community service. If young ones, 12 to 18, if they are allowed to volunteer for community organizations, they will not only have inclusiveness as part of their leadership training, they'll also understand what others go through, what challenges they have, and therefore they'll become better leaders in the future. One last thing which I must share with you before I bring in my colleague. A usual thing about leadership is flamboyance. Leadership is great communication. Leadership is great oratory. Leadership is, a very outspoken leader. Any student in the class who doesn't converse much, stays silent, doesn't interact much, can also be a great leader. So leadership is not just flamboyance. So that was a little bit of a context setting as far as leadership and this training program is concerned. I will go to my colleague, Ms. Viha, so that she shares the entire program with you. But before Viha comes in, couple of things. First of all, this is a leadership program which is from grade 1 to 12. And of course, today we are talking to grade 7 to 12 parents. It's a progressive program, in-person delivery, and this is going to set the tone for the entire leadership curriculum being taught at your school, HPS. So let me once again congratulate HPS for this path-breaking initiative. Over to you, Viha.
Thank you so much, PD sir. That was a wonderful sort of introduction to what we plan to do with the school. Pravar, could you be so kind as to pull up the presentation, please? Now that we've heard the tone and the direction that this program is going to be taking, I want to give you a glimpse into what this bespoke curriculum actually looks like and how we hope to shape the students after they actually have exposure to these modules. Please, next please. So the objectives of this program are as follows. The first is to help each student identify their unique leadership style. As we know, there's no one specific way to be a leader. There are, in fact, many different ones, and actually each individual has a unique style. So we hope to equip students with the skills and tools they require to help see how they can be the best version of themselves and how their leadership can actually impact others. The next is meaningful communication. We are inundated with information all the time, and we're demanded to be talking all the time. But what actually gives communication its meaning? What gives our messages greater purpose? Next, the art of presentation. Here, we're not only talking about the PPTs we make or the messages we send, we're talking about first impressions, how we present ourselves as individuals, how we introduce ourselves, what we mention and what we don't mention, to best make an impact on the people around us. Next is the importance of empathy, not just with other people, but with ourselves as well. How do we best decentralize the narrative so that we can always keep compassion while being objective about a situation? After that, ethical leadership. Since we are born, we're constantly told what is right and wrong. But when we're making decisions for others, this becomes of foremost importance. How do we best help make decisions for others that always keep them on the right path? And finally, conflict resolution. This includes which arguments to even engage with in the first place and where to put one's energy when fighting a point, and how to do so in a way that is non-violent, both to the self and to others. Now I'm going to take you through the modules of instruction that the students will be going through. Let's look at the first one, please. So the first is purpose and intent. As I just mentioned, what is the purpose behind communication? What is the impact of the message that you're giving? This is what we hope to equip students with. How best to match their method of communication to the message they hope to pass on. We plan on doing this through a series of activities and games, including story analysis and charades with different intents and experimenting with different forms of communication. Next, please. Creative writing and narrative styles. As AI develops, as people turn to coaching centers and more, the individual voice that comes through with the way we write and the way we speak could not be of greater importance. And when we're talking about narrative styles, we're not talking about fiction. We're not talking about telling stories. We're talking about how we build a narrative around our own work, around our own purpose. What does the narrative of my leadership actually mean, and how am I guiding those around me? We'll be doing this by analyzing famous speeches and understanding how the leaders that we look up to actually build their own narratives, and be asking students to present themselves and giving them feedback on the way that they do so. Next, please. Identifying your specific leadership style. As I mentioned, each individual has their own unique leadership style. Broadly, these are broken down into 7 different categories, but actually there are infinite variations between each one. So we plan on equipping students with the tools to help identify their unique leadership style to best guide and impact those around them. We'll be doing this through a comparative analysis of different leadership styles, helping them with an inventory to access the leadership traits that they all have, and helping them look at different case studies to best see how they can match up to and get inspired by those leadership styles. Next, please. British parliamentary debate, moot courts, MUN, and case competitions. You are no doubt familiar with at least one of these terms as a very in-demand extracurricular at your school. Now, these actually go beyond a simple extracurricular, as they equip students with the tools on how to negotiate and interact with the world in general. So we will be taking them through these different forms of extracurriculars to help them understand how to engage with it as an activity, and also how to implement these skills in their day-to-day life. We'll be taking them through each of them and holding simulations for them to best understand how to negotiate. Next, please. Empathy versus sympathy. It's very important as a leader to understand the perspective of our audience and of those around us, but at the same time, not get so emotionally caught up in their point of view that we are no longer able to make rational decisions. This course will basically show a difference between empathizing and sympathizing, so that one can always relate to what people are saying while not possessing their narrative. We'll be doing this by asking individuals to look up their role models, engage in a leadership book club, and to try and occupy another's perspective while maintaining objective rationality. Next, please. Personal and professional etiquette. In today's day and age, when most of our communication is virtual and through the media, it could not be of greater importance for us to understand how to maintain etiquette, whether it be in-person meetings, emails, even text messages, or an Instagram post. This course will take you through how to maintain an etiquette that makes you stand out as a leader. We'll be doing this through access to a handbook that we will be discussing with the entire group, and an etiquette case study. Next, please. Personal branding and digital footprint. Building on what we just talked about, every part of our life now exists online, and it's all being observed by others. How do we make sure that this footprint that we leave online is always clear, concise, and best speaks of us as leaders? This course will take you through how best to present yourself online through LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter, etc., and not in any way compromise your own identity. Next, please. Finally, we'll be wrapping up with financial literacy. This is a one-of-its-kind module where we introduce students on how to start getting involved in finances and making financial decisions from a younger age to help increase their responsibility and understanding of how money works. We'll be doing this through a combination of activities, including a budgeting challenge, an interactive bank simulation, and an investment simulation game. Please carry on. Our team is made up of trainers that have all attended marquee institutions across the country and across the globe. And they have taught there and learned from there. And we will even be bringing in guest speakers who are professionals in their capacity to best speak and interact with the students. Next, please. You can find us at our socials that I'll put up on the screen. And don't hesitate to reach out, drop us an email or a text message if you have any questions at all. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Viha. My request to parents who are listening to us, you've kind of heard me, you got the context, and you also looked at the program that my colleague Viha showed you, kind of a brief summary here. The chat is open. We'd like to hear your comments on this, please. Thank you. And we'd also like to know how this program can actually, what are your thoughts, how this program can really, really benefit the students? And any question that you have, any observation that you'd like to share with us? When we are talking about this program, we're also involving teachers here. We'll do orientation sessions with teachers so that all stakeholders come and make this program a success. And that's where parents, we will need a lot of support from you. Vansh, is there anyone who'd like to talk about when is this program starting?
Absolutely. So the program's starting as early as the 5th of August. We've got everything planned out, almost monthly visits, so that we can interact with them for at least 12 hours per grade before they go into the exams in February. So that's the plan, and we're working on scheduling it. Would love to hear and take more questions from the parents.
Mr. Vansh, if you could take this question from Mr. Bal, what is the course cost and duration and timings?
Sure. So, well, HPS has been very generous and kind to entirely bear the cost of this entire course. So there is no cost attached, nothing for the parents to bear. The timings would vary from grade to grade, but it would be done within school hours. One group would be from 8:30 in the morning to 11:30, and the other group would be from 12 to 2:30 approximately. And in terms of the duration, like I mentioned, we'll visit the campus. It will be offline 4 times during the year, and per grade, there will be a cumulative interaction of 12 hours.
So that means you've already answered few questions. It's conducted during the school hours in person, right? Yes, on campus, and this is right. Are you planning to conduct such interactions with parents going forward during the course time? I believe, of course, Mr. Vansh is the right person to tell you this, but I think each year there'll be interactions with parents moving from grade to grade.
Currently, we have an orientation plan for each grade, but this has been a common theme even with the junior parents of grades 1 to 6. So if the parents feel we should meet them more often, it's something that we'll certainly discuss with the management.
Ms. Shraddha, a very nice question. Ms. Shraddha's asked a very nice question here. Since they are growing kids, their leadership style may evolve with time and evolution of their personalities. Can we really identify their leadership style at this age? Will it be right to do that? Ms. Shraddha, thank you so much for asking that question. First of all, is an overall perspective on leadership, then helping them with what leadership styles are. And definitely their leadership style will evolve with time. It's not like, hi, today my leadership style is this. So it's going to be an evolutionary process, right? So we are not classifying them that you are this or you that. It takes time to develop the leadership style. Absolutely. You may include stress management as well and handling peer pressure. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's going to be a part of the plan somewhere or the other.
May
Okay.
I just jump in really quickly? Sorry. There's been a couple of questions about eligibility to attend. This is a program for all students of the school. There's no nomination process, no eligibility. We believe these are skills that each student should be endowed with. And to further build on Mr. Prikshit's point right now, the entire point is to help students be equipped with the tools to develop their own leadership style. We are not going to be didactic or categorizing about this. We are not going to tell them you are an X kind of leader or a Y kind of leader. It's to help them develop that relationship with themselves. So it is in no way didactic of any kind.
To Mr. Ram's question, will it disturb students' regular classes? All right. Mr. Ram, just to help you with, right now, grade 8 would be about 2.3 crore students in India. 9 will be about 2.2. 10th is 2.1 crore and leading to 1.8 crore students exiting the system of 12th class. So which is we are looking at close to about 10 to 11 crore students in the bracket of 8 to 12. And as I shared, all of them are going to schools and all of them looking at one thing, academics. Therefore, that's why I said, thanks to the visionary leadership here, that they are bringing in that as far as future is concerned, this is very, very important. And this is as important as other areas. So therefore, and as Mr. Vansh Nathani shared, it will only be about 12 hours a year. Am I right, Mr. Vansh? Right? And that is something so beautiful and much needed for our young generation.
Absolutely. It's minimal knocking in a way, once in a month or once in 45 days of the school being open, we're interacting with the students, and the way they take time out to do many other activities. I think this is going to be much more useful in many ways.
And Vansh, let's look at what Mr. Harshit Shukla has said. Can you read that? That's the spirit of the program. Good to have such introduction at school level, which we have learned years after starting professional journey. Exactly, Mr. Harshit, thank you so much. That's the spirit with which this program is being brought in. Mr. Kamalkar, when we are talking about these young kids, no, we are not bringing in assessment as early on, but definitely over the years, every year we are looking at how they were and where they are going. Absolutely. Yeah. But we are not talking about assessments to say who's better, who's worse, who's in what position. Great. I love that. That's right. Ms. Kavita, what are the ways through which the progress of the student will be monitored and guided? That's why I talked about that if you're giving 12 hours of this program in a year, so you will suddenly not find that after one class, suddenly the student has changed. It is a progressive step, and therefore you will start seeing the results. However, this requires huge contribution from teachers on a day-to-day basis and parents. That's how this program we'll be able to see amazing results. Miss Aisha and Mr. Vinod, your point is, it will 12 hours make an impact? 12 hours each year into maybe 4 or 5 years, and cumulatively, it's going to make a big dent in the approach and the perspective of the student. Yes. Yes, absolutely. Yes.
I'm so much in the mode of typing the answers that I realize that no one's actually verbally answering them. So yes, there will be a self-assessment. I think that question has come multiple times. We don't want to burden them with any kind of evaluative or competitive assessment. And just to answer the 12 hours, I think with everything that's happening, it makes for a good beginning, and you'll certainly see a change in their ability to be more confident, express themselves. So we can, and thank you for the kind comments and encouraging words. Someone's also written, thank you for an overwhelming introduction. So we didn't intend to overwhelm you, but I hope all the information has been positive for you to take back.
Mr. Rushal's question is, as the class has 40 plus students, can you all focus on each and every student? That's not the endeavor.
Yeah.
That's not the endeavor to kind of work on each and every student. First and foremost is creating more awareness, sharing with them how these things are important, then experiential, observation, working on them. So, and if we find that there are certain students, okay, if we find that there are certain students who need more hand-holding, that's where teachers will also come in along with the Educis team. But first important thing is getting them to move on with this project. Yes.
There have been quite a few comments about how parents can help, or if there'd be any resources for the parents, in which case we would be more than happy to put together a data bank for you to access and pass that around. And I would like to say it's incredibly encouraging to see what an active role the parents want to take in this entire initiative. So we will definitely be passing that around as well.
Yes, absolutely. We hear it's when students come to you, when they discuss what they're doing, when they discuss these, that's where parents' awareness and impact and discussion is going to be a very, very important thing. So that's where powerful conversations between parents and students. Yes. Are we good? Are we good as far as questions are concerned? Neeta ma'am?
Mr. Dhanda, I think another 2 or 3 minutes we can wait and.
Very good. Very good. Miss Swati, I talked about passion for learning, skill sets. Tomorrow, bringing in extracurricular, co-curricular activities, even deep diving into academics. Absolutely. For example, supposing I'm interested in computer science, right? As a young person, how about Olympiads, coding, programming, building a tech profile, innovation, app development? It could be anything. So I'm just giving an example. So it's like, will this program help them? Absolutely, this program will help them.
Yes, I just to add to that, right. Just if they're figuring out their own leadership styles and how they function, and they're diving one level deeper, they'll already know what they're more cut out for, which will help them pick both their hobbies as well as what they want to pursue in life. Yes, Abhishek.
I was just adding to Saur's point that even though that's not really the intention of the program, but most of these kids in 2 or 3 years would be looking at colleges and considering that, right? So we are looking at college readiness in a very big way. And all these qualities in terms of leadership and communication are really well appreciated at the leading schools around the country and not around the world itself. So that's a very big plus, which is happening behind the scenes while we are not intending to do that.
Absolutely right, Abhishek. When they look at these things cumulatively in so many years. This will help them choose their subjects. This will also help them, deep dive into their interest areas and also build a stronger CV. Absolutely.
And we have year-long planned inter-school and intra-school activities and inter-house competition. This plethora of opportunities where, a student can get into and just, assess what he is good at. And so with your transformative journey, this school platform, I think it will come, it's going to give the best results.
Great, wonderful. If it's all right, I think we could end the session. Like the last
Yes.
session, we're wrapped up well in time. So clearly time management is also something we'll be touching on with the students. Thank you so much, parents, for making it. Thank you, Mr. Dhanda, for addressing everyone, taking time out, and heartfelt thank you to the HPS team for taking this initiative. Like we pointed out, very few schools do this, and also to bear the cost of this entire initiative. So much appreciated. Thank you, everyone. And you can reach out to us. Our Instagram handle we has just posted. And you can also write to us at hello@educis.com. Thank you.
Thank you.